Hi and welcome back to another video of mine. This time we're looking at the Raven series. The Raven is a budget gun, and I've heard a lot about them, both good and bad. So I wanted to buy one and find out and test it and see what I think, and to let you guys know. So this is part of the EU series, and this is the EU 18. It says it's in dual tone. It's not. This one's been changed. It's a second-hand gun. I didn't buy it brand new because it's Raven, and I didn't want to just be really horrible or rude about this gun because it is a budget gun, but I didn't want to spend too much money. So this is the two-tone version, but it isn't because it's a second-hand gun. So I'll show you that in a minute. So what I want to do is unbox this, show you the gun, show you around it, see what I think. And then we'll compare it to another gun I've got, which is the WE G series and 18C as well. So there's not many guns out there, pistols out there, which are fully automatic, and it's the fun switch. So I wanted to test this one and see what it was like and see if it was compatible and hold up. It is CO2 compatible apparently. From what I hear, probably buying a CO2 for this is going to wreck it and break it apart. I did do a bit of research on this before buying it, and a lot of people are saying it's hit and miss. Some people have had problems with it. Some people are saying it's all right. It's a fairly good gun for a budget. So let's take it out, let's have a look at it, and let's put it through the paces, see what you think. So the box, they come fairly standard, the Raven guns. They're all sort of similar to this. Comes in a sleeve. Not a lot of information on there. So inside you get a manual. Manual's okay. It's English. Breakdown and parts of the gun, and just information about loading it and how to shoot the gun. It also comes down with a breakdown, like a schematic, but it doesn't count. I haven't got it on this gun. So you can see from here that this one has been altered. The guy who had this before me has stripped off all the blue. Whether or not he was going to project and paint it, I don't know, but if I keep it, I probably will do that, just do a paint job on there. So what do we get in the box? Spare nozzle. That's quite good. Not many other guns do that. Raven are quite good for doing that. I wonder if that's because they break a lot and they need replacing. They do a section of O-rings. You have two back straps for your grip. So if you want a larger grip, then you can place these in, and I'll show you how they work as well. One magazine. It's metal, and then the gun itself. Straight out of the box, there's a lot of wobble to this. Here's the slide. Okay, nothing else in the box. So let's take a look at these. So you get two grips on these, and that's obviously a larger one, and you've got the smaller one there. What you've got on the gun is there is a pin located just here, and you pop this pin out, you put your extended grip on there, and then you use your larger part here to put it through and just secure it in place. Actually, it's okay. It's I mean, it's exactly like any other 18C. It's fine. I have got another one, and I have put the larger grip on there, just suited a bit better. But we'll leave that for the time being. These are checkered. They fit okay. Not particularly flimsy, so yeah, that's fine. The loading nozzle, as I say, they get a spare one on here. I don't know if this is for CO2. They were saying that this is so you can make the gun a CO2 gun. but I think it's just a spare nozzle. I don't think it makes any difference. That goes inside the gun. I will do a video on how to change this at some point, but right now O-rings are fine, no problems at all. Okay, so let's have a look around the gun. So at the back you've got your fun switch, which is obviously for single shot and full auto. You've got your thumb rest. On the back here there is no trades on this. There's no trades on the slide. There's no trades on there, and there's no trade on here. On the Wii there is. Again, obviously I imagine this is because it's not an official Glock. This is the Raven version. So plastic polymer body. You've got your magazine release here, which is okay. I think you can change this around, so it can be ambidextrous if you want to change it. You have your slide lock, which you just push up to engage, and then pull down to release on there. You've got a button on the side here, which is the same on both sides. Again, this is similar to all Glocks, and that's your takedown pin. You pull this down and you can take your slide off. There is a extra safety down the bottom. These, I don't know if you've tried these on any Glock, these are really difficult to engage and disengage. And if you've got gloves, it's near on impossible. So not very practical, not great. You've got a rail at the bottom here, so if you want to put on torch or anything that you want on there, then obviously it allows you to do so. Top of the slide, you've got cutouts on there, so you've got a cutout groove on the side with the skeletonized barrel, and then your inner barrel underneath that. Plate on top, and then stippling on here just for helping you to load. The sights haven't got any markings on them, although I'm not sure whether or not other guns have, or other Ravens have, but this one certainly doesn't have anything on there. On the other side of the gun, pretty much the same. Again, your thumb rest on there. You've got the stippling on the back and on the side to help you give more purchase, more grip on the gun. And then you've got your finger rails on the side there so that your fingers sit nicely on that. On the front of the trigger unit there is also more, so that when you're holding it, it gives you a bit more grip on that as well. It's fairly standard, isn't it? There is also, just to the front of the gun, it's also threaded on the front of the gun so that you can put a MOX suppressor on there as well. Magazine is metal magazine. It's okay. It looks very similar to the rest of the Glock magazines that I've got. So points that you should be aware of is that when you're loading this, you pull the slide down and then you put your BBs in through here. What you can also do is pull the slide right down, and then you can load your BBs from the bottom here. Problem with this is if you let this slide go, apparently the plastic on there is a bit brittle. Be careful, and if you let it go and slam back up, it breaks, which is a bit of a problem. So just be aware, you really need to be a bit sort of careful with these. The other problem that Raven have had, I'm being nasty to the gun already, is that it leaks apparently quite a lot. So if you've got your butt plate on here, you can slide this off by pressing the button there. This just slides off, but the valve on here leaks apparently. This one hopefully won't do so. So there's two things you can do. You can either unscrew this and the whole of this base comes off and you can replace the O-ring on there, or it's the actual valve inside. It's got a small O-ring. Again, just replace those. Obviously putting silicone grease on there afterwards, and then that should help to sort your problem out. It's actually quite an easy fix. There is a guy on YouTube who's showing this, and I watched it the other day. It's really simple to do. So there is fixes to them. You just don't really want to be having to do that too often, do you? So replace this again, just press the button in, put your plate on, slide it down. If you are new to airsoft, to fill the gas in the magazine, you've got the valve at the bottom, which I mentioned. Just get your gas canister, you put it in the valve and just press down. If you press up and down a few times, apparently it's a more effective way of filling it up. There you go, I'll tell you that's full. And you can tell it's full because this here will be really stiff. There'll be resistance on there, which means it is fully filled up with gas. There's no BBs in here. The gun is clear. There's nothing inside. Okay, I'm just going to dry fire this at the moment on single shot. Let's just see what the recoil's like. Quite loud. It's got quite a kick. It's really kicking my hand a bit on there. I'm surprised. It sounds quite nice. Yeah, no, I'm pleasantly surprised with that. Actually, with the magazine, there is less of a wobble. So obviously the magazine's giving it a bit more purchase inside. Again, to release the magazine, you've got your magazine clip on the side and just drops out. There is no lanyard on here, lanyard being something that you can use for clipping onto your body and then securing the gun via a cord. Some guns like the 1911 have like a loop that you can put a lanyard on. I advise this, if you're new to airsoft, the very first game I played with my 1911, I did take it out, engaged, I was shooting. At the end of the game, I'd lost the gun. It had come out of my holster. So just maybe, I know it's a bit geeky having like a big cord and bungee cord that's coming off you, but if you're looking to keep your gun, it's probably a good idea to do. Let's switch it to the full auto. Okay, let me show you how to break down the top slide so you can get into the gun, because these are fully fill strippable. So first of all, magazine out. No, there's nothing in there. So the little button on the side here you pull down, but as I say, there's one on either side. So you pull them both down, pull the rack back, and then push it forward. So inside here, you've got your spring, which just disengages easily, and then your barrel comes out from there. It always amazes me how much these are similar to real guns in regards to, that looks fairly like the real Glock barrel, but obviously in airsoft you then get the inner barrel inside. On there you've got your rotating hop up, so to move it up or down will increase or decrease the hop, and then that obviously changes the way that the BB flies. Push that back on again. There's your loading nozzle, and again this should be well greased and looked after. If your gun's dry, then you're going to find that the gun will stick or won't cycle properly, and that's where you get problems with it. Okay, let's put this back together. So barrel in and down. Spring back on there. Line it up. And just slide it on. Okay, so the idea of this test is I'm going to see how accurate the guns are without really aiming them. So the idea is, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to free fire them and just see how close they are to grouping wise. I'm not interested in whether or not I get the ball or not. I'm not even that interested if I hit the target. What I want to see is if I can hold the gun as still as I can, how close the grouping is. So I'll do that on the Raven, and then I'll do it on the Wii. As you'll see, I've got two different sights set up, two different targets set up. So let's see how they are and how they compare. So first I'm going to do 15 foot, then I'm going to go to 35 foot, and then I'll do around about 40, 45 foot. Okay. What I'm going to do is I've got a bit of cloth. I'm going to put that just underneath, just so the vibration is a little bit less as well. All right. Okay, now the Wii. One, two, three, four. I think we had one up here. The Wii. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at the moment, the Wii's tighter. Okay, so fairly close. I think let's move it back now to the 30 foot and try again. Okay, that's interesting. So my brand new Raven Glock magazine is leaking. I'll swap to another one of the Wii magazines. They should be exactly the same. Let's go from there. Okay, magazine taken care of. 30 foot. Okay, so quite conclusive. I think the Wii had a better result on there, but at 35 foot, it's not the most accurate for grouping. Obviously, I didn't go for the target, I was just free firing it. The Wii was a little bit better, although we had a few flyers up and down. The idea of the test was to find out whether or not the Glock could hold a shot and keep it in the same pattern. I'm thinking no. And with the magazine going as well, it's not faring up that well. Let's just finish the firing, I guess, then by full auto serene. See what we come off from that. It's a doozy. Welcome back. So we've seen the two guns in action. I mean, make up your own mind. Personally, I think that the Wii was just a little bit more consistent, a little bit more powerful. It's just a slightly better gun. The reason I bought the second one is you can see from my Wii, this is what I was talking about on the top. You can see that plate is quite worn. And that's because this has been used a lot. It's also very scratched and battered. So this has been my go-to gun for a long time, and I've always found it fine. So this is really just a takeout and skirmish and such, and this is perhaps for looking after a bit more. If you're looking for a cheap gun, and your budget is that you don't have a whole lot, then I think this is a superb gun. It's authentic. It looks very similar to the other models. The Tokyo Marui, I don't have one, so I can't compare that, but it feels similar. You're going to get the same response. Distant wise, do you need a pistol in airsoft? I mean, probably people say no, because if you're that close to somebody, you just shoot them with your gun. There isn't usually a minimum sort of engagement within airsoft. It's fun to have. It's also fun to shoot, having the slide rocking back when you're shooting, certainly with the full automatic. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I think so. For the budget, it's an okay gun. It is what it says on the box. There is that rattle which I'm not keen on. No gun should make that. If it's rattling, it's not performing properly. You're going to be losing energy somewhere. The fact that you haven't got any trades on here isn't going to bother you if you're just playing and skirmishing the gun. But if you're looking for something a bit more authentic, then obviously that's it's not great. And as I say, it's just, if you compare the two, if you have either one, you'll know what I mean. It just doesn't quite feel the same. It's airsoft. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and have you got one? Have you had problems with it? Is it working fine? Do you think they're good guns? Thanks for watching.